Alright guys, hello and welcome back. Hopefully we get to play one coffee at a time. I thought, I might as well make a series of my own game because I didn't want something that was super hard. I was thinking doing stuff and I'm like, yeah, I'm not feeling like I want it to be too much work on that one. And I'm like, well, I want to invest more time in something than Plate Up. Plate Up's cool and all that, but you know what I mean? Like, it is very much like, you want to invest more time into something. I thought I might as well play my own game. Let's turn off the help. So yeah. This is just the demo that's up on it right now if you want to play this. I guess it's still a bit like later, but let's see what I can do in one session. I think that far. Oh yeah, whoops, I forgot to take out the cup and the egg. You guys get a free egg. Ugh. I think got like a pimple inside of my mouth and it's just freaking awful, mate. Oh yeah, I better be cooking stuff, you know what I mean? So just run around like a mad dog. It also helped me remind me that, like what stuff to do in this game. I need to like give you guys like the new recipes and all that with the cocoa powder and everything. Today's been one of those days where it's just like you sit back and think. I don't know, it's one of those days that's just like it really gets you thinking. And I'm just like, oh my god. Also, like, because one of the indigenous elemental studies of the course, in my course, I'm like, in my uni course, and it's just like, kind of I don't know how you fully explain this without experiencing what I mean. Is that it's like triggering like the most typical bush, like it's triggering the anti-authoritarianness of like the bush in a way, which it probably comes out from there. Especially where I'm from, man. It's like I can't get chopsticks. I actually can buy chopsticks because someone left you guys with $100 in the pocket. Whoops. That's nice of me, isn't it? I just realized that too. Oh yeah. Also, I left you guys a lot to work with, mate. They want the espresso, just straight up espresso. That's actually what that is. What I mean, the V's is like, that straight shot out of the coffee. Yeah, that is what the espresso is. I mean, technically it is that. I think that you might put a bit of water in there, depending on where you get it from. But for the most part, it is the straight out the shot. Yeah, it's just basically like that course is like weirdly triggers that like, stuff the government type of attitude. It's putting it lightly, I guess, in a way too. Yeah, weird noises coming out the other way. But I'm more happy news. The dogs have found a little lady beetle pet. I need to put it up on Instagram for you guys to see the new little pet. Speaking of which, you guys can see some of my actual physical art on Instagram if you're interested in that. But the dogs have found themselves a little lady beetle pet. I don't know if I should leave that poor lady beetle pet in the responsibility. Don't worry, it's not a real lady beetle, but I mean, I'm probably tell them. I was gonna say not tell them that, but then they are here listening in, so that's a bit too late now. It is just something that looks like a lady beetle. I guess it's a good way to say they can look after their pet. Yeah, this one little dog here with got it on its head, and it's like I'm gonna have to put that on Instagram. Taking a photo of what the dog is. I still find it so funny. This is one time where my computer like wet stuff for one of the first times before all the like the whole technology mess happened, and it's just like I'm taking the photo of all these dogs like almost every single day. It's like the most like productive with the dog photos I've ever been. It's just like, oh my god. Ugh. You know what I'm also realizing too, since I haven't had the microwave for a little bit, I've been was it heating up my coffee shop with the milk frother on the coffee machine, and it's been working out alright. So I thought, oh, I might as well try that. You know, it is a lot more actually a lot more efficient with the coffee shop because it does take less time than milk, oddly enough, to like fluff up to or to heat up. Because you can use like the milk frother to heat up things. I find it's a powerful little device. This coffee machine. Oh, hang on. I haven't put my cookies in the shelf. I'm like, shove these bad boys in there. Like I'm half playing the game. uh, I want some shortbread cookies. I gotta add a bit more ambition to this, don't I? Yeah, I don't know why, but when I was doing the game cycles, he was like really like obsessed with the idea of like has to have an interesting way to end the game, and it's just like, what, mate? You know, I know it's like that's how you want to play a game. Is you got to have something that's like intense, world's burning down type of game. Then yeah, I understand the need to have a goal to get to. You know, sometimes it's in games it's like sometimes people want that gold orientation that they can just see out of the blue from 50 miles down the road, you know what I mean? And then there's some people just wants to like I don't know, explore, run around, play the game. Like that's what they have those muck up simulations, you know what I mean? There's ones where you can just go off to the world, go wild, play around, I guess in a way. A bit like what biggest example would be GTA 6 or something like that. You know, like you can just go and play single player, go off, stuff around with the world for a bit just because you're feeling like it, you know. But there's like plenty of other games like that that isn't like as high ratings. It's just like you know what I mean. That type of game is just like, did I knock this on my table? Oh, I misread that. What? I feel like I just went to dyslexia. Whoops. Yeah, I guess maybe someone might want that later. Who knows? Oh, my little mitt didn't end up surviving too, which is kind of sad. I went all that way, went for a 40-minute bike ride, grabbed him, missed out on what I actually intended to go there for. Didn't get any other plant other than him, and yet he ended up dying. Got sunburned when I was on the ferry on the way back. It was a whole thing, man. And yeah, he ended up dying because he was put in bad soil, and then I think the heat kind of got to him before that too. Because he didn't look very good by the time I got him back, and I was thinking, oh, hopefully he'd be alright. But no, he didn't end up being alright. Maybe one day I'll end up going with him. I don't know why bushmeat tends to not do that great around here for some reason as well. I had that problem with my with the last place I was at. It doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't like the heat as much. It must not. I'll have to look again, see whereabouts, like what land it's from. Because it is around the river, but I don't think it's that far down south from here, from where I am at the moment. That's why I'm like pretty confident it does grow. Or maybe it is like a way more fussier plant than I realise, you know. It could be that. You know, there's something that we also learned that I just got reminded of like all the shit period of time was just like once one time Middle City where they were like really like crazy shit ways. This is just like, oh my god. And then there was one point where it's like, so to give you context, Queensland, the state, around the I guess late 2000s, I think maybe to the early, I think maybe the early 10s is when they started to change over to a Labor government. But they had a Liberal government, which was like the worst Liberal government of them all. It was the worst of the bunch. It was like, this guy was the worst. So bad that Liberal Party did not get re-voted in for at least more than 10 years. I'm pretty sure right now it's the first time it's ever got voted back in since then. Because sometimes people have short-term memories in this country. I did not realize I didn't realize the Clippers gave us short-term memory loss. I don't know how else you explain it. But I think it's always people always have short-term memory loss. And we were talking about that in the class. It was just like, these people 18 are not old enough to know exactly like the impacts of how bad this fella was. Like, he was bad. Because there was like one thing he led like something against Indigenous people, which was no good. And Queensland is just like, oh my god, mate. And what he did to everybody in the country is like, Queensland eventually got the name of the most conservative state for a reason around that time, and was respected like it was. Sometimes there's a reason why nicknames come about. And at the time, it did deserve its nickname around that because it was really bad what was going on in Queensland. And like, unemployment was pretty bad too. Like, around that time was pretty shit. It was pretty bad. I'm like, I want to be on serious, but I'm like, oh no, this probably might be a nice one-off video, just to play the game. I'm taking my shoes off. I want to actually make something else. We can actually go with simple biscuits. I want jam jars. Yeah, jam jars. Yeah, I guess to give you the context for the game design course too, that fella, like, I showed him this game and he was just like, is it good? And I'm like, what, mate? I'm still building it. This is the time where it's like, I was nowhere near this point. This is like last year. I was like nowhere near the point where you have it now. And I'm like thinking, what do you mean, blah? I've barely got it out. I've barely got things functioning. Oh, we can actually make a mud cake. Let's go. Let's have our goal of making a mud cake later. Do you want to make some jam? What are we after? We want new jam or old jam? Let's go with the summerberry. I'll need 2 of these. I decided to make them 2 because it'd be a lot easier shoving 10 in, you know what I mean? Here we go. I also need... Oh, we're getting a bit overwhelmed here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's like kind of like insane sometimes. I forgot. Yeah. When it's just like, is it good? Blah. It's just like, is it good? Is it good? And I'm like, what? This is a situation that's like, I'm still making this game, man. What? You don't want to around. I'll probably end up actually making more fame out of being an artist than I probably will a game designer. Let's be honest here. I don't know. I don't like that idea, but it's probably going to be true. Oh well, as long as I keep my tag, you know, keep the name Redcollarwolf, that's all that matters. I mean, I'll always still make games. Games are cool. It's not art for me, so it will always be there. But you know, I don't know. Feels like it's kind of hard to get it to be recognized, like it's a painting in a way, because people are like, I it's still even still left it in a, oh, this is a separate thing in itself. It's like, you know what I mean? It's hard to explain where it's just like, um, this isn't like, I'm not a big company. This is like literally like me making my own art out of it. You know, that's what indie development is basically like art. More than actually, I don't know. They tend to treat it like you're going in to be part of the machine, you know? When it's not treated like it can be an art form, you know? It's not treated as much as like that. Because there's a big difference, you know what I mean? Or not, I don't know. Oh, I cannot see the difference. This is why I have the letters, man. Even if it's like, very few things that make the letters apart. I don't know. Have you guys played this game yet? I guess and one bugger has. Download the game. I'm kidding. Damn it! I wish I knew I could do two. I would have made two. I have a coffee shot in the fridge. I'm like, might as well. Also, you know, it's been like, I make it two, and now no one's gonna order coffee till later. Also, so the coffee tree at the garden's been like going really well this year, and I've been picking them up from the floor because I'm like, oh well, might as well pick them up from the floor too. And it wasn't too bad. I got like, I think about 250 fits in the coffee machine itself at once. You know what I mean? And I at least I've probably got four out of this year, and I've still got one here. So I'm probably gonna get another, like, I'm probably gonna get another 250 grams. So that's basically like, I don't know. You gotta work it out yourselves. That's you know, that's a quarter of a kilo. So I'll probably actually end up in total having a full kilo and more of coffee beans this year. Compared to last year, it was a bit like half that. But I only got it from the bush, and I thought I might as well get it off from the ground because I wasn't able to like get there as much as how I was able to last year. You know, I always went past everything I needed. I still didn't get that one properly fixed. I wanted to, but it still did not happen. Look how I could just walk behind the machines. Has no saving and still has some bugs. I think that sentence has some bugs in it too. Whoops. Oh, I'm having a bug at the moment. Oh, there we go. Don't know if I told you guys this, but they're like with the compost. So it lost the compost lids, and then with the one that's done, we had to shave off the top, and I opened the lid up, and there's all the bugs, and I'm like, I got one on my phone, and I'm like thinking, clearly I wasn't talking fast enough to keep the flies out, you know, because I really do. The family that does come from a place where there's a lot of flies, so yeah, I kind of like that joke. I don't know why, just like when you get to a certain, like, when you're closer to the coast, it tends to vary like half the flies easy when you get past a certain point. It's like you barely have flies. Like it was a place where there was flies everywhere. And it wasn't just like, oh yeah, it's because like, you know, dead things everywhere. No, it was because it's kind of what environment it was. If I'm explaining it properly to you guys. This one was actually really nice too. This one was like, you know, really nice to learn from this type of game. I feel like, yeah, it does feel like sometimes people underestimate what game development or games can do. You know, you get treated very poorly, games do, and it's just like, excuse me? They literally like, oh yeah, they can make a big buck out of them. But at the same time, it's like, even, you know, even when it's like, you can make a big buck out of them, it's like, you get certain situations where it's just like, even the film is treated way more nicer, or this noir is treated way more nicer than game design. You know what I mean? Let's say to you guys, we need our mud cakes. Just gonna add the add to the pile of cups up here. This is why I left this space for you guys to like be able to wander down there. You know, maybe I should have invested in a bin, but we don't have savings, so. Well, eventually we have to invest in a bin, won't we? Yeah, as much as I don't like using it and play it up, maybe it's worth the investment. I think Ash went to like Bunnings today. I think, yeah. It's 1 o'clock. Why does it say AM? I think that's not meant to be. Whoops. That's actually from when I was trying to make it to 24-hour time or 12-hour time. Clearly the 12-hour time did not end that well. It really didn't happen. Oh, there we go. Good boy. I might as well put that in there. Maybe one day we use them. Oh, hey, look at this. We got black tea over here. Yeah. Oh, boy. Yeah, so we're slowing down a bit. I'll get the mud cake recipe. I'm also gonna get the camel slice recipe. I think I'll make camel slice first because I remember one of the first recipes I had in it. I keep pressing tab like I'm gonna open up my inventory, but I'm after shift. I'm like, why am I pressing tab? It's because I want shift. You know what I mean? So we want a simple biscuit base. So we want 1 block of that beautiful butter, 2 sugars, 1, 2, and 2 eggs. I could have slowed it down a lot more, but I have problems that I'm not I'm not gonna solve anytime soon. I was watching a video about a place in Will Australia was talking about how it's basically like the place is basically every Will place, but you know, what? On a simple biscuit. Oh. I just dyslexic that. Ignore that. I'm like thinking, that is the wrong recipe. It is the wrong recipe. I was not wrong about that, thinking it was the wrong recipe, you know? Yeah, that situation, you're like, I'm pretty confident this is the wrong recipe. But, you know, it must be the right recipe. But no, it is the wrong recipe. Here we go. Do you wanna, let's actually make some with the blood apple. Oh, I need 2 of these bloody things. There we go. Put that in there. Put those in there. I was thinking I did top it up right in the right way, right place. So we need dark chocolate, number 4. That's not definitely not number 4. In each table, 1, 2, 3. Guess we got a bonus. I think get pretty much each table. There we go. I was saying pretty much every single table needed one of those. 1, 2. And we go around one of these. Put this one on 2. This one goes 2, 3, and 1. Bush, river. Do we have a latte up here? Which one wants that? Number 4. This one, number 1. Yeah, maybe I could slow down the game a bit. Oh well. Oh, look at this. We can use the black and river man. Yeah, so excited we can use that dump pile. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, how it's like example of what happens when, you know, the government is more of a shitbag than it normally is. And it's just like, dude, you made this mess for yourself to clean up and you're not even trying to clean it up, you know? It's like basically you did take out the soul in the heart of a town. You gave people nothing to do, and this is what happens. You gave people no facilities, this is what happens. Because it's like a basically crime central now. It's like the top one of the worst places probably to be living in, and it's like it's because you couldn't be bothered to, you know, give a stuff about these people. And so now it's biting you in the ass and you don't want a minute. Oh, I need condensed milk. I need to do, you know, the one where I can just click on here. That would actually be really good. Maybe I should invest in the time for that. Okay, so we need another milk jug. And tell these people they pick off for a minute. I'm trying to cook it only. 1, 2. I think I also want sugar. That I want full bit of sugar. This is like, yeah, that is everywhere in rural Australia, just not to that extreme amount, you know? It's just like rural Australia's just being left behind in the dust because they freaking can do that. It's just so frustrating when you see that. Because Bush Australia is left in the Stone Ages. Some places don't have power or good water systems. It's just like, how the heck you have like cities and that are fully equipped and everything like that, and then you want to talk about going all technology with the cities, but yet there is places out in the bush that barely has anything. And it's just like, really, dude? You just want to leave these people behind in the Stone Ages? Well, didn't want that. I think it's this. Yep, good. Okay. You know, it's the type of situations. It's just like, yeah, we all know that you're the devils. And then you talk about going off fancy technology. I don't know how you explain it, but it definitely does feel like in my lifetime, because I come from a place that is like barely was given the opportunity to have those facilities. It's just like, I don't know. It's just like, So imagine it. So think about this. So I'm like in my 20s, and my parents didn't get power until they were like mid teenagers. You know what I mean? Oh, better make sure no one's gonna call me. Yeah. And I feel like that is probably the most craziest thing I could say to anyone in the city. And they look at me like I would walk off a spaceship, because basically it is that. How different it is. Because it does sometimes feel like you sound like the city people's grandparents. It's just like, man, I'm not that old. You know, when I come here, it feels like that. It's like really like a hit, and how vastly different it really is out in the bush. And it's just like, whoa. Because even like where I used to be up in on the coast of northern New South Wales, it's like, yeah, that's a built-up area, but you know, it was nowhere near built up as much as the city was, or you know, it still had its dopey internet, dopey, you know, it still had it still had a couple of hospitals and all that. Like, yeah, you know. Although let's be honest, that place probably should have a full-on like train rail system all the way to Brisbane, because if you look at all the other places around Brisbane, it is the lowest population from probably anywhere around Brisbane. Like, I thought, you know, you ever had a moment where you're like, I assumed everywhere was basically the same as what I grew up in, you know? And it's just like, no, I really have lived underneath a rock sometimes type of situation where it's like, these people make it sound like, you know, Townsville is a very small place. And then I figured out, no. It is larger than northern New South Wales. The population centre. Like, you have a CBD bloke. I think it was Townsville, yeah. Cool, good for you. You really have things to do. It's just like, It's, you know, it's just a bit like that, and it's just like, okay. Like, it's hard to explain. It's just like, when you have a higher population than, like, northern New South Wales, it's like, you know, it does hit a lot differently, because it's just like, you have a higher population than I spent most of my the town I spent most of my life in, and most people would not consider that proper bush. And it's just like, yeah, like I said, it remote or regional. I think, yeah, that's the word I think they use. But you know, they wouldn't consider that the bush, you know, because even this a couple like an hour down the road from that area, that is when you start to get to the, you know, real low populations. Because put this into perspective, out of the Sydney area, and this includes like Newcastle, when you get past Newcastle and all that, when you go north, that part of northern New South Wales is the highest population outside of that area. So put that in perspective. Because I feel like every time I learn more about Queensland, the southeast part of Queensland, it's like really weird to me, because it's just like this whole southeast population is massive, and yet the thing like right over the border, oh, this is Whippergreen, yeah, too. The place right over the border, which is like 2 hours, being generous, I think. Yeah, 2 hours is being like the high end of how long it would take to get down to northern part of New South Wales from Brisbane, is the smallest population within that range. It's kind of annoying too, because, you know, over the years you had a lot of talks about places wanting to don't know why it didn't want to go. A lot of talk about being down the train all the way to northern New South Wales, and it's just like, it's barely past the Gold Coast, you know. And it's like so frustrating, because you hear those talks all the time when you live in a place like that, and it's just like, I would want the train to come down here. The train is the best thing ever, you know. But, you know, it was a place where you had a bus that came, where I used to live, came every hour. I think if you were lucky, And it's just like, it's so annoying to live in just a car dependent place. I guess it's okay when you can drive, but it's like, my problem isn't that I can't drive. My problem is that society didn't want to teach me how to drive. That is like a big difference. And it's just like, so, and driving itself is just like so ableist in a way. It's just like, what? I can easy. Someone sits down, if I can easily get my and sits in the car with me, I could probably learn how to drive myself, you know, without them telling me how to drive. I just have to sit there in the car. Type of situation. It's just like, to look at that and just reflect on that, like, I don't drive because I can't drive. I don't drive because, like I said, society didn't want me to drive. Yeah, that does not reflect well on my parents. That, I mean, they were, you know, like, you have that one parent just doesn't want to teach you at all, and then you have the second parent who's like, yeah, they're busy at work. And I think roughly didn't want to teach you as well. Yeah. Hopefully I might get my desk brought up. I don't know. I just missed changing. Whoops. The coffee's over. Soon. I don't know, man. It's just like, feels like you want to just. I want to be able to just like stay in this little hut where I'm at the moment for like a couple, like for a minute, you know, for a year or two, you know. That's how it feels like at the moment. Situation, you get what I mean? It's just like, things have just been intense as all hell. Why did I have, I don't know. I guess I have a spare. Did I not count properly? Did I do 4 instead of 3? I swear I counted. Or did I, it was meant to be 2. Probably always meant to be 2, isn't it? No, it's 3. I'm not creepy and delusional. I'm currently on our, my current desk is our little dinner table thing here we got, you know. How long have we been going for? Oh, not that long. I thought we'd be going for longer. Yeah, this is also helping me remind me that I kind of gotta work on this a bit or two. But you know, let's make our mud cake. I guess if you're here, you don't mind me rambling about things. I need to vent. And I can't just vent to sibling now. Type of situation. I'm sorry. But it is a bit like that, you know. It's one of those days, it's just like, you're just making me more pissed at the government lately, and I'm already pissed at the government. Oh, when our sugar! But it is very much like, ooh, all the sugars. You also, like, how do you explain it to? It is very much like, the state government has a lot more power over the state than we first probably might think it does. Because that's the reason why Queensland got its name at one point. Like, it was really bad at one point. You know? Oh, yes. I forgot I rebuilt this whole thing up here. Can I have this biscuit back? I don't know why I left the biscuit up there. I literally made a thing down there. That slips the biscuits back up, you know what I mean? Ah. There's a couple more nice things I could add in, can't I? That would be really good for this game. Yes, tomorrow is Thursday. What am I doing that? I have 1 whole milk, 2 eggies. I did start to make this game before, I realized eggs aren't really that needed in cooking. But, I might as well keep it in there. Oh yeah, I gotta get this one up here. Knock over. There we go. Don't know why I gave that one such a big range for, but I did. Then 4 lumps of flour. Probably needs more flour than if I was to make this recipe in real life, probably. Or maybe, I don't know. Maybe it did round up, I don't know. It wouldn't be that far away. There's definitely one where you have to see how it turns out. I'm gonna make a chocolate ganache, yeah. Are we going in with like random lists and everything like that? Okay, so the game's barely registering on like memory use. I mean, it's got 100 something like 100, megabytes, almost 200 megabytes, but that's really it. It's pretty funny. Comus is sitting there like 3,000. Don't worry about that. Comus is like, I'm taking all this memory, yes. Give it to me, give it. I don't know why it does that sometimes with the, search engines. And what's this one for? Number 2. Figuring out the comedy in this game is gonna be a real pain in the ass. I mean, it was before too. Like the fact that I had to before decimal points were added into back into the game or added for the game. This is like set the whole system to work without decimal points. It's just like, oh boy. Because if you didn't know before, it was like once it was like point 0, it did not show up. And that was like a whole thing. And I'm like, oh boy, what am I going to do about this? Type of situation. Okay, let's make ourselves mud cake. Mud cake. What are you guys into? Let's go with a bit of darkness. Oh god, I think ceiling was accidentally calling me. What are we after? We're making mud cake. Oh, let's put some white chocolate in there. Everyone likes to get a little bit of white chocolate in there. I think I need 2, probably need 50 million claims. 1, 2. Oh yeah, I need all the claims. Put this in there. 1, 2. Shove this on number 5. Oh, look at this. I'm so jealous of number 5. That milk chocolate caramel slice. And then tea. Don't really pay attention to what tea it is, but I'll probably drink it. Oh, down south once. Down on number 1. What's some tea? Oh, I meant to pick that up, but I did. What's caramel slice I mean? I mean, they all want some tea at the moment. Oh. Let's make it mainly white chocolate. Then let's get some chocolate. I decided to put the chocolate in the fridge because I'm like, it's fancy chocolate, you know what I mean? You want to look after your fancy chocolate. Let's go for, well, we might do full spang actually. Let's go for, ignore that little glitch. Oh, I guess, now I see what the little glitch does. No, we're not dark chocolate. I don't know, maybe that's what it does. Looks like we're learning something new every single day. Then we put milk in there. I don't know how that one happened. It used to, like, it used to be working just fine. Yeah, it did work out just fine at one point. Maybe it was the update that stuffed it up. It could likely have been that. Yeah, the updates are, nice when, like, you haven't worked around it. But it's still good to have those updates, you know what I mean? Don't want to be too insulting. Yeah, it is a bit annoying when you've worked around it. You've figured out the solution to your problem. I think we ran out of flour too by the look of it, yeah. And we got some in our pockets, I guess. Or did that one in my pocket? Oh, we need black. Oh, we're finished for the day. There we go. Everyone just wants black. Except for like one bushmeat bugger. Oh, there you go. They get to go first. There you go. Have fun with that. No one got to order mud cake. It ended before even someone got to order mud cake, man. Always. Let's see. Hold on a bit of that. No. Um. Oh, we're at it. Yeah. I don't know why I did not think of that sooner. Having it to have it to say sold out whenever the recipes are bought. I have to be honest, that's one thing that has been annoying about code is that you have to tell it, like, AI, and, like, when you build something with code, you have to tell it, like, you know, it goes very by the book when you code something, and you have to remember it goes by the book. Like, if it doesn't say jump 5 times to 30 centimeters, jump 30 centimeters 5 times, you have to be like, you know what I mean? You can't just say jump 5 times, you have to be like, jump 30 centimeters 5 times with your legs bent down, if like, it has to be like really precise. Sometimes it's just like crazy like that, isn't it? Like, some things you never think of, like being like, to tell a person, like, you could tell a person, like, certain things is just like, you don't think of telling them, like, details that you have to tell code to do, if that makes sense. Maybe the company's not that bad. I still I think it's bad, but I guess it's not as bad as I thought it was. I thought you'd be pocketing in tons of money, but I guess you're looking at how the resupply had to happen. that butter is totally not gonna melt. I'm just trying to soften it, you know. You gotta soften your butter before you cook. Everyone knows that. This recipe doesn't have sugar in it. I have to put in some recipes so you don't soft lock yourself. I guess you don't soft lock yourself because you don't need coffee. That's always fun, isn't it, when you accidentally soft lock yourself? This is not where the milk lives. Don't judge me. What? Hang on. Chili isn't the floor of the garbage. Suppose your weight is going as well as you think it is going. Give me a minute, guys. Alright, guys, we're back. Sorry about that. I had to make sure sibling won't blend out, you know? Oh man, I guess it wasn't that kind of mercy, but you know what I mean. It was like I had to make sure it wasn't that kind of mercy type of situation. Here we go. Also wanted to see, you know, play this game, see how things go. Plain old scones. Sorry to the English buggers, but I haven't added in claim yet. Or some Australians might be a bit like that too, be like, where's my bloody claim? I've been making these cool, like, little animal stamps for print making, and I think they've been really cool doing it. I've got a cockatoo, kookaburra. I haven't showed you guys the kookaburra or the cockatoo yet, but the dingo is on, like, the Instagram for print making. I'm currently doing the copper as well for that class. And I want the dingo looks so cute. Really like how the dingo looks, man. He's such a cute little fella. Then we got the white cockatoo, so sulfur cockatoo, whatever you want to call him. Then we just got the general like kookaburra. I need to put more detail on his wood. I forgot to do that before I pinned off some marks on him. I need to figure out how to get this game so that it feels like you're not too lost around like a maniac, and then you still have plenty of legs. But definitely did feel a bit like that, you know, through the game when we were playing for the day. Oh, we made it day 2. It's Sunday, guys. Oh, hang on, did it change over? Remember, it was always Sunday. I'm gonna finish off this painting here of like the wheat fields with a storm coming up from the back of it. So like just before the storm comes. I got that on Instagram as well if you guys want to see that. But I fill in the tractors instead, so and I will put a bit more like white on it, and then that one a bit more yellow on it. Then that one be finished. Because I think I need to top up some of the yellow parts. Or maybe all the highlights in general. It's been really nice to get back to doing some stuff in a space. And then also having the money lately too to do that kind of stuff as well. Money and space seems, yeah. I guess the bigger problem was more space. You know, you never really so much space fucking gets to you. You know, if you would know, I mean, if you've experienced not having space to do anything. It feels like too, it feels like you're just clamped in. I was in that apartment building, but that's because they wanted you to feel cramped in that type of apartment building. I feel like apartments get a bad name, but at the same time, if they want to build something good, they built something good, you know. They just choose not to. So I was like, I was telling that, I was saying that someone at one point was telling me the skyscrapers are like ugly, you know, and I said to them, they're only ugly because the person who made them wants them to be ugly. You know what I mean? You can make a good skyscraper that is good to the people who live in it and is functional and looks good, you know. But that's only if the person who wants to make the skyscraper wants to make it that way. You get what I mean? Like, if you intended it not to be good in the first place, of course it's not going to be good. Intended not to try, it's really not going to try. I mean, even if you aren't good at something, if you tried, it will at least be decent, you know. First time try won't always be the greatest, but you know there is something to trying to make something good. Then if you make something shit in the first place, of course it's going to be shit. I'm waiting for the morning orders. Such a long part in between. Now, if I get the right balance of this type of gameplay, where you get Blake's to cook and and then you get to, like, you know, serve, it can really become very powerful. Like, you know, forgetting how to do it right. Ugh. I get coffee this week too. Coffee and tea again. When our tea was the saddest thing. You know what's pretty interesting too about that shopping centre is like I can literally. I think last time I pretty much spent like I was pretty much I went there 8 o'clock in the morning and came back before like 12 o'clock, and I'm like thinking, holy shit, that is surprising, you know, because I'm so used to being like from an area where I'm going to the shopping centre. This is gonna be an all day thing, you know, because it's basically like it takes you 50 years to get up there. Then you're gonna go one around to every single shop. You know, it's like really weird type of thing. You know, I expect it to be like an all day thing. Yeah, I was expecting to stay over lunch. I was thinking, oh no, I'll probably eat lunch there, which I didn't end up eating lunch there. I guess saves me some pennies. But it feels insane, you know, to be able to go to a shopping centre and be back within a couple hours. Still feels like, well, I could do more than one chore in one day. Like, that was a big thing for me when I moved from, like, northern New South Wales up to the Gold Coast, was being able to do multiple things, go to multiple shops in one day. It wasn't like a whole, like, it was all about that one shop type of situation, if you get what I mean with that. It wasn't just about, oh, going to this one place. Like, I could go to multiple places in one day. Because I find with that, in northern New South Wales, when we were getting, like, when I was trying to use Centrelink, how much more time that took from being, being further away from it than, like, when I was on the Gold Coast. I pretty much did that before lunchtime, It was pretty much, morning about 9 o'clock. I could have done, I pretty much was able to run from one place to the other place. Like, it was a whole, I can't remember exactly everything I was doing. But when I was trying to do the same thing from before, I couldn't do it. But then all of a sudden, for the place I was living, I pretty much did, like, three things that used to took days to do back on northern New South Wales to do in, like, I did all those things in one day because I could walk to them. I'm like, oh my god, this is what I've been missing out in the city. The luxuries of walking. Like, yeah, there is a cost to that. You get all the bushland and freedom to do stuff in a way, but there is a cost to it sometimes. I guess when you're in the real Australia, because you can technically have both the cake and tea, I guess, in a way, if that makes sense. If the place is built like that, you can't go to a cake place and expect tea, but you can if you went to a cafe that sells both tea and cake. You know what I mean? You can get both, but most of the time you don't end up with both, and it's just like it's so much nicer seeing one end of the spectrum as well. And then sometimes, when you can get both, sometimes one's not as great as the other, and that's okay, in a way. I'll probably, if I was to put, I probably would do tea, I would say tea. Tea is the Bush Australian, the cake is more the city, There's something sweet about it, but at the same time, it hides things, I guess. Because it's nice being able to, like, do things in the city, be able to walk to places. I mean, of course, it needs better public transport, stuff car dependency. I've never been more annoyed at cars in my life until I moved to Brisbane. And it's just like they are the real devil. Okay, even when I was on the Gold Coast, it's just like very neutral. I didn't like cars, but it wasn't like as bad as it is now. My hatred for cars. It's just specifically in the city. Being in, like, these places to be walkable, not with, you shouldn't have the expectation as someone who drives a car to be able to drive straight up to the shops and get out. Basically, is these people's attitudes, and it's just like, settle down, blow. You're not gonna get that close. That's so annoying too. That's the reason why the train or the tram from the Gold Coast never ended up in, like, coming all the way down to at least Coolangatta, which is the border town of northern New South Wales and Queensland. It's the bottom half of the Gold Coast. That is that attitude of, yeah, there you go, now we're open. As a driver, I expect to be able to drive right into the shop, basically, is like, you're the crazy dog here in the room, mate, and you don't even realise it. Oh, this is green tea. Does anyone want some green tea? Oh. Things like, no, you can't use me. I think I might work on getting those recipes out on the second demo, and then you guys can have a play around with them as well. Oh, can I use you now, sir? Yes. They're like, here you go, now you can use me. It gets a bit slow starting, but, you know, this is how it is. There we go. You don't want all my cakes. What is this? My poor cakes feel rejected. I feel rejected for my poor cakes, man. There we go. Oh, look at that beautiful kookaburra. There we go. Now we're starting. You know, it was a bit slow on the ball, and it's just like, now it's time for us to do stuff. Do we have a, yeah, we do have a cabinet. We do have this, but it hasn't been here overnight. You must be mistaken. It was not the same cup you seen yesterday, mate. That's how it feels like, isn't it? Oh, 6 o'clock in the bloody morning. Yeah, it is basically. Sometimes it does feel like sometimes some people do expect to have both access and I guess the more small town experience, but at the same time it's like, just go live in a small town if you just want small town experience, not just, you know, there's some people who's just like don't want what the city has to offer, but yet they're still just living here for some reason. Type of situation. I don't know how many of you guys have, you know, had people like that. It's just like, if you want to live in a small town that badly, go to a small town. Especially when you're probably rich, like, you know, they probably can easily just go into any small town they want. Stay there for 5 seconds and then, well, not. Yeah, if the community doesn't hate you, well, then there you go. Because sometimes feel like you do realize you live in a city, right? That's how it sometimes feels like in this place. It's like you do realize you live in a city, right? You can't treat it like a small town when it's a city. It is the capital city of the states. You know, poor naive farm kid, coastal kid, I don't know how you want to say it. Me, it's just like, I thought this was meant to represent the whole state, but I guess it kind of does. Type of situation, you know, you just feel like sometimes that's how it is. But I guess, yeah, you know, some people act like you can go get a job any 5 seconds you want. Just walk into a room and just like walk into a place and be like, "Here you go, here's my resume." No, can't be that simple. But at the same time, I've been to places where the north part of New South Wales doesn't have any work. Not for the people that live in it. Oddly enough, you know, it's like there's less jobs than it is for the population. And that is probably the most serious sentence I probably should have said in this whole video. Is that there's more, and that yeah, the job prospects, I guess that's the word, yeah, is like, was really bad. Hence why I'm like, you know, I might as well go online and do some stuff. Maybe I won't never get successful or famous, but you know, what else am I gonna do? Just sit there and do nothing. I mean, that's what the government thinks I do, so, And that's sometimes feels like, doesn't it? It's just like, that's what the boomers think you're doing, and it's just like, okay, dude, settle down. We get it. You had it way easier than we did. Someone was talking about, like, when they were 18, they're like, at least more than 10, oh, I guess they would be 10 years older than me. Being like, at 18, they're like, oh yeah, I could move to a whole nother country and live in a whole nother country, and I'm just sitting there thinking, what? When I was 18, I could. Oh, wait, when I was 18, 18 was COVID, bloody hell. Yeah, I'd be dreaming if I wanted the place at 18. I would have been. Even if I could afford the place, I would still be dreaming because it'd be like, so, you haven't had any mental history, I see? I'm 18, sir. And it's like, yes, I wouldn't have 2 years of rental history before you even dare to look at this place. Oh, I put that mud cake down so fast that the game was like, no, I do not illustrate this. It's on the plate. I do not illustrate this mud cake. This mud cake does not come in. I do not see this mud cake. They want bonus mud cake. I see it in their eyes. I see it. I feel like the game's gonna hold glitch out now. Oh yeah, I know we can also actually, how we actually do fix that if you're curious is that we go here, take the other thing, and because I'm so fast with my mud cake placing, there you go, now it's done. That's why I never really patched that one up. It wasn't like, you know, world's ending, world's burning down type of bug. It's just there. Yeah, that's basically how winting is like these days. It's like, you gotta have 2 years to get a job, you gotta have 2 years to have winter, and then, oh yeah, sometimes it's like, you gotta have a job on top of that, and it's just like, sir, I haven't been able to get a job because no one has hired me because I don't know anyone. Basically, sometimes that's how it goes. It's just like, are you kidding me, man? Need to shove this back in there. There we go. And the cake too. Look how sometimes works, sometimes doesn't work. Oh well. Don't question the game. The game does what it wants to do. I'm feeding the ghosts. I'm keeping them happy. Maybe that's what my dude's job has been all along. Maybe that's what I should always say this game is about. Keeping the ghosts happy. Oh yeah, we got another one of these. This has not been sitting here all day long. We got two of these. Bloody hillbillies. Why do I keep getting so many of these asbestos? At least they haven't been watching too much. The ghosts will be fine, you know? This is just because they didn't want to actually make physical beings. You know, I was thinking of having it more like you go outside, but, you know, that's the reason why there's, like, space out here. No, there's no camera, like, camera barriers stopping you from looking what's happening out there, so you can see there's no chairs or people. They just have me in prison in here making coffee all day long. Yeah, it's a thing, you know, but yeah, I was thinking at one point bringing it out a lot more, but I don't know, you know, if I would do that. To expand it outside. I could still. I guess it wouldn't hurt this type of game, but at the same time, it's like 5 is still a lot to serve at once, you know. When you guys play this game, what do you guys think? Do you think it's like? Do you feel like at one point when it's like a lot of orders come in like this, do you feel like overwhelmed in a way with 5, or do you feel like you can probably as an easy do it? Because I definitely feel like I need to learn how to split the game up so then you aren't just overwhelmed waters and you feel like you can't cook. You know, I gotta learn how to do that balance, and that's an important part of this game is that balance between cooking and serving. Because there's a lot more focus on the cooking itself. I could try to be that cooking, and then I guess surfing as well. Because it is basically running a cafe, but then want to make it ridiculously detailed, because I feel like that is like, it gets tedious to be like ridiculously detailed when you're meant to be serving these people like 2 seconds. Oh god, what is wrong with my knee? I fell over and I got bruises on both on the side of my knee, and for some reason it's like, nah. Maybe it's just the position I had in. Hopefully it was. Yeah, I got bruises on the left side of both my knees. I got some skate marks. Lucky I had like pants on because I tripped over when I was trying to cross the road. I'm on those bloody road islands, and it's just like, good way to make you hate cars. Told you, this place, I don't know why, but it's just like made for you to hate cars. Like if you walk around all the time, don't know how it does it. I guess, yeah, when you have a bunch of highways whipping through the heart of a city, you can definitely see. Oh, I meant to make one. Whoops. Why the car hatred just goes right through the roof. Well, then I've also carried on a bike too, which is like riding my bike around. It's just like traffic lights and riding your bike around is the worst thing. I hate traffic lights when it comes to riding my bike more than anything in the universe, because they just stop you. There's just something on here talking about where you could buses can change again. Let's make sure people are going on it. You know what I mean? It's just like how to explain it. For what I was gonna talk about, yeah. It just, I don't know, anyone out there who's ridden a bike on like footpaths, roads, or whatever. I mean, the roads are kind of scary. You're a very brave person, and I hope you don't get injured or anything. With bloody how car attitude is sometimes with the carbines. It's just like, oh my god, dude, settle down. Yeah, carbine attitude is like, especially around here, some reason worse than what you think it is. Because if you can tell me it's reasonable for you to decide to turn left, so this is like the shorter turn in Australia, into the traffic lights, and still call that a reasonable thing to do, I'm sorry, you need help. How many times I had to death stare someone for being like, don't you dare try to run me over. Type of situations, it's like, oh my god. It's really, I don't know why, it's just like, whatever they do in business is like really bad with that. And like, I can understand being like, you want to get somewhere, but at the same time, you can wait. I can't wait because I have a short amount of time than you probably do to get across the road because I'm more disrespected. And also, like, 20 seconds, you would probably take 20 seconds out of your time. It would take over a minute out of my time every single time a pedestrian has to stop for a car. Let that sink in for you. How little it affects you in the car is like, well. Oh, there was one place I really liked going to, but it's like half an hour away from the train. I'm just like, so I'm not going back here anytime soon. Type of attitude. Type of place, and this is like, it had really cool like sewing gear and everything like that. if I wanted a certain color or something, like I would have went there first. But then it's like sometimes like it's half an hour away from the train for industrial areas. So if you're in industrial areas, it's like, oh my god, this is a torture just to walk through. Oh yeah, and there was one point where I didn't have a footpath next to the road, so that was fun. It was a Sunday, lucky enough for me, so the only problem with Sunday is you do have to, whoever does come through, you do have to give, you have to give any person in the car pretty much a death stare, being like, don't you dare fucking bloody think about wanting me over, mate. You know? Like, if you're not been in that position, I mean, if you have been in that position, you clearly know what it means. It's like, you have to give them, like, a bloody death stare, being like, back off. Really, actually, it does have up the car, too, if you do actually run into someone, so don't do that. Because if you do end up running your car into something, you're probably better off running it off. Depending on, like, damage it causes. Like, if the front is, like, stuffed, like, even the back, if it, to the point where it misaligns the wheels, your car is stuffed. You might as well write it off. Or where you can't close the doors and anything like that. Like, maybe if you, like, there's a difference between, oh, you scratch the paint a little bit to, when you actually do run into something, it's, like, crushes the car. Like, from an experience with my own dad's, like, car when he went into, like, a wild dog of some kind in the middle of the night. And, like, it cost a small fortune to get that repaired, and still then it didn't really work. My best recommendation is write it off, it's not gonna come back. And it's just like, yeah, just that simple one action just, like, drained, like, thousands of dollars, and then yet you still weren't able to use the car. I'm surprised he even got where he did in that car. Because he was able to, because this has happened on the highway, which really sucked. So he was able to still get on, he was still able to use the car and get off the highway. This is back when I was living in, when we were all living in northern New South Wales. And yeah, I'm surprised that car lasted until that. Until you were able to get it off the highway. And then that cost like $200 and all that. Like, it was expensive. And I'm thinking now, I wouldn't be able to afford that myself. Like, because it is like these days, like, so expensive. It's just like, why does society make you just drive these things around? It's so annoying. You know what I mean? I mean, there's some things about cars that it's like, yeah, it's nice for the convenience, but you can have that convenience. You can have public transport if done right to be more convenient than a car. It's just chosen not to be, built properly because, well, do these people even hire people even out of university to build these things? Like, come on, man. Like, I'm starting to wonder, these people even, like, spent what 5 minutes in, like, a course of basic city infrastructure, or is this, like, so brainwashed in city infrastructure that this is what happens when you put car dependent people and shit, car dependency in charge? Like, you can't be bothered to bend down and allow other forms of transport. I just realized too, my phone needs to top up with the stitching. This is my first time making something a letter, and it actually has hold up better than the case I spent $30 on. This thing, like, usually cost me under $5 because I recycled the same phone, plastic phone casing that goes around the phone. I recycled that. I guess this is more positive news, and then I stitch it together with recycled thread. and some that came undone, so now I'll have to use the thicker thread. Because I did separate into smaller bits of thread, but clearly that was a mistake. Clearly still need that thicker thread. It's been doing an okay job. Or just always be topping it up. But I guess, yeah, it's got like, storage for cards and all that. Like, it's so convenient, cool. And you know what's annoying sometimes to me when I have stuff that I make on me is that people don't think I made it, you know? It's like, as soon as I say, I made this, then they're interested, you know what I mean? It is kind of sad like that. It's just like, I'm making all these things on me. I didn't find this at the shop because I couldn't find this at the shop because I'm the one who made it. To find a case as good as what I made here would have easily cost me close to $100. You know? If it's say all the materials are new and everything like that, it would be a small fortune. And it'd be all perfect and everything like that. Like, the case I got here is like the edge of the cut. Like, yeah, there's a better way I could have done, like, the letter. It's more close to how my hat's done. But I also spent the afternoon finding out a fork so I could stab holes in the letter. So what I got here is what I got, you know. And I think I've done a pretty decent job. And I'm quite proud of how it turned out. It's my first time making stuff out of leather, and right away it's better than what I had on it before. Because the case I had on before, like, literally lasts me, like, under a year, and this is silly. You know, even if I had to completely remake this again, this was still, and I did it the same way I did here, this still cost me under $10. Because I did have to, like, put a sewing stitch in the middle because it was 2 pieces. So what I did was cut out the scrap from the scrap letter I had, and I had to sew 2 sides together for, like, you know, for the height. I got these on, and this will probably be on Instagram too, the phone case, if you've not seen it. And then I also threaded in, like, small, like, card holders within the case too. Because I made it long enough to where I could put the cards in sideways and still cover the phone. I actually eventually put a button on there because I thought I might need it to hold it, but then, no, I haven't really used the button. The button has instant to fall off. And that was being pretty pleasant, that was. So yeah, the things you learn sometimes. Because I was thinking that too, it's like, I'm wearing this bracelet that I made at an event that I went to for free. The materials are for free, and I'm like thinking, would someone fully, like, comprehend that I made this bracelet? Probably not. You know, I was thinking, it's just like, yeah, it's just like, I don't know, it does reflect something of society, doesn't it, in a way. It's just like, people don't realize I make something until I say something I made something. And then there's also this, some good people, like, have a hard time at that idea of, yeah, I can build stuff. Ugh. You know, you always get those little buggers. But also, it's like, you know, it's interesting too. Lately, these days, you just go off and make something. I feel like whatever I do is going to be very much centered around that idea of, yeah, I can make this. You know, maybe there's a good thing we don't have an actual bin. Maybe there's a good thing that we actually don't have saving in this game. I mean, some of these copies here would be out for days, you know. Oh, I was watching someone else play another game, another cooking game, where they basically had this large space in this for a dumping zone. They're just like, oh, whoops, I won't meant to pick that up, throw it out, throw it around the corner because they can't put it back into what they've taken out, you know, what you can with plate up. based on the game to that. I think it was Dino Blaze 2. I think that's what the game was called. And it's just like someone was just like throwing it off into the corner. It was actually quite funny. That's how you deal with all your problems. Throw it into the corner. Don't have time to deal with the lettuce that just randomly picked up. Throw it in the corner. That's how sometimes it feels like, doesn't it? I think I might end it there today. I'm gonna go and update this whole book, don't I? Whoops, I did not realize the machine page had nothing. That's what I was thinking there. But it did have something on there at one point. Maybe not. Maybe it got blanked out of existence. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. Don't forget to subscribe. Find this game on itch. Should be linked down below. Hopefully. Should be here somewhere. And check out Boss Dog as well. What's Outside on itch and Steam as well. What's Outside's also on Steam. And there's some other games as well. And then there's like Instagram you guys can check out too. And I'm deciding to give this person a teapot when they're not meant to have a teapot. Oh, look at this. Ignore the fact it's just been sitting here all day long. There you go. Screenshot. I really love just seeing the little pixel icons of the food. They look so cool. Man, it has been worth my time making this game. You know, even if it's not the best game in the universe, I really like how, you know, I've got to want to make a cooking game out of me somehow, you know. Really good way to learn like a lot of things about the game. So I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day. Goodbye.